All right, let's dive in. I want you to think about AI a little differently today. Not as some scary, complicated code, but more like an apprentice. Yeah, an apprentice that's trying to learn about our world by mastering two of the most human things we do, speaking our language and, well, seeing our world.
I mean, really, stop and think about that for a second. Every single day, you probably hold up your phone, it takes a quick look at your face, and poof, it's unlocked. How on earth does it know that face, out of billions, is yours?
Or what about this? You type a question into a chatbot. It's not just grabbing keywords, right? It feels like it actually gets the nuance, the context, the meaning of what you're trying to say. How is that even possible?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to pull back the curtain and go right inside the digital mind of this AI apprentice to figure out how it's learning these absolutely incredible, almost human-like skills.
So, let's start with the first skill, language. You know, our ability to communicate is what connects us as people, and now it's connecting us to machines in a way we've never seen before.
The magic behind all of this? It's a field called natural language processing, or NLP for short. The best way to think about it is like a bridge. It's the essential connection that lets a computer take our messy, complicated, and sometimes weird human language and actually understand it.
And lately, that bridge has basically become a superhighway. And that's all thanks to something you've definitely heard of, large language models, or LLMs. We're talking about the big ones, right? ChatGPT, Gemini. These are the enormous models that have been trained on just an unbelievable amount of text from all over the internet.
And what they can do is just wow. It's truly amazing. I mean, we've leaped from these clunky, awkward translation tools to AIs that can write you an essay, summarize a super dense report in seconds, or just have a surprisingly normal conversation with you. They're just so incredibly versatile.
But here's the catch. This power is a classic double-edged sword. On the one hand, you've got this phenomenal tool for creativity and information. But on the other hand, these models can, well, they can hallucinate. And that means they can just make things up and state them with 100% confidence. So here's the key takeaway. They're an amazing co-pilot, but you still need a human in the driver's seat to check the facts.
Okay, so our AI apprentice is learning to speak, but what about seeing? Let's take a look at how it starts to build a picture of our physical world. This is where computer vision comes in. If NLP gives the AI its voice, you could say that computer vision gives it eyes. It's the entire scientific field dedicated to one thing, teaching machines to process and understand visual data, whether that's a single photo or a live video feed.
And trust me, it is everywhere. It's the secret sauce behind your phone's Face ID. It's the hyper-efficient brain in a logistics warehouse sorting thousands of packages an hour. And, yep, it's the most critical sense for self-driving cars trying to navigate our busy streets.
So what's the engine driving all of this? Well, it's a specific type of AI called a convolutional neural network, or a CNN. You can basically think of them as highly specialized pattern spotters for images. And the stakes here? They could not be higher. We're not just talking about an app identifying a cat in a photo anymore. For an autonomous car, its computer vision is making thousands of identifications a second. That's a pedestrian, that's a stop sign, that's another car. And every single one of those decisions has real life-or-death consequences.
And that, of course, brings us to the ethical tightrope of computer vision. Because on one side, it offers incredible promise for our safety and security. But on the other side, the exact same technology raises huge, unavoidable questions about mass surveillance, privacy, and our fundamental civil liberties. It's a tough balance.
Okay, so we've got an apprentice that can speak and see. But how does the learning part actually happen? What is really going on inside that brain?
Well, the answer to that is a field called deep learning. It's the powerhouse behind both NLP and computer vision. And at its core are what we call artificial neural networks. These incredibly complex, layered systems that are designed to find patterns in data in a way that's, well, it's loosely inspired by the wiring of our own brains.
So how does it learn? Honestly, it's kind of like a very, very sophisticated process of trial and error. The network makes a prediction. Let's say it guesses, that's a cat. Then it checks its answer against the correct label. If it got it wrong, it measures how wrong it was, and then it adjusts all of its internal connections to try and do a little better next time. Now imagine it repeating that process millions or even billions of times. It just gets progressively smarter and more accurate with every single cycle. And, you know, just like our brains have different areas for different jobs, deep learning has different architectures.
We've already met the CNNs. They're the specialists for visual stuff, the AI's eyes. But you also have things like RNNs, which are great at understanding data that comes in a sequence, like the words in this sentence. And those really powerful chatbots we talked about, they're built on an advanced architecture called transformers. And that's what gives the AI its modern, sophisticated voice.
So, understanding the tech is one thing, but figuring out how to guide it, that's a whole other challenge. And that really brings us to our role in all of this.
We've gone on this whole journey, right? We've seen how the AI apprentice learns to talk and see. We've even taken a peek inside the neural networks that act as its brain. But that leaves us with the single most important question. What's our part to play in this story?
And really, it all comes down to this. This technology is unbelievably powerful, and we can't just let it develop in a vacuum. It absolutely demands thoughtful, ethical leadership. It requires constant human oversight to make sure we're steering it towards helping humanity and away from causing harm. Responsibility isn't just an option here. It has to be the foundation of everything we do. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on. This AI apprentice, it's learning from the massive digital world that we created. All our books, all our websites, our photos, our conversations. In a way, it's holding up a mirror to us. So maybe the real question isn't just what is AI learning, it's what are we, collectively, teaching it?